Glad you're still with us on Colorado and Company. Okay, there are so many things that we take for granted every day, guys. One of which is the clothes on our backs and the ones that we provide our kiddos. But some Colorado kids are left without this luxury. So joining us now is Valerie Lunka, the Executive Director of Clothes2Kids of Denver. Val, I actually heard about your guys' organization through a mutual friend, and I was just blown away by what you guys do. So can you tell us about Clothes2Kids?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me, Danny. It's so nice to meet you. And Clothes2Kids has been around about 15 years. Yeah. And what we do is we take in gently used and new clothing, and kids that come from any kind of family in need can come and shop for free at our store.
Wow.
So when they come in to shop, they get to pick out a week's worth of clothing. It's about 21 piece, about a 21-piece wardrobe.
Okay.
And last year, for example, we provided 10,974 wardrobes for kids.
Oh my goodness, that is incredible. Yeah. Well, what I love about what you guys do too is the fact that, you know, so many of us are cleaning out our closets with our kids, and we just donate it to Goodwill and don't necessarily know what happens to it, or you know, just kind of throw it away or don't think about it, right? Especially those gently used clothes. So bringing them to you actually makes us feel good about what we can do for our community. So why is this mission so vital here in Colorado?
Well, I think it's vital because it's really about the dignity. Everybody, you know, whether you're getting dressed to come on Colorado and Company, or you're getting dressed to go to a board meeting, or you're getting dressed to go to the 3rd grade, it's important what you wear as far as your confidence and your just being comfortable and confident and ready to learn.
Yes.
And so we serve kids that are in preschool all the way up to age 21.
Wow.
So young adults who are working on possibly their GEDs.
Yeah.
And so it is important what clothing wear or what kids wear to school.
Yeah, I completely agree. I remember my dad always said that, you know, you'll do better on a test if you dress for it. And I think that that's huge. If you are confident in what you're wearing, then why wouldn't you be confident when it comes to your education? So do you have any stories of success you can share with us?
Yeah, you know, there's so many great stories, and because we're serving so many kids a year and having kids come in and share the successes that they've had, whether it's just, again, they've been able to go to school because they have clothing to wear.
Right.
So that's kind of the bottom line.
Right.
But then one day we had a young man come in with his mom, and he was a 13-year-old, wore a size 17 shoe.
Wow, okay.
And that day we happened to have a pair of brand new Kobe Bryant Nikes, size 17. And so he left the door, or he left Clothes2Kids with a smile on his face. Tears were running down his mom's face. And it was just one of those things that everything lined up that day to serve him.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of it in a nutshell, but just knowing that, you know, it's hard to ask for help, Danny, but when families come in and come into Clothes2Kids, it's really the dignity of the experience, and you know, the success stories are coming in and out every single day.
I'm sure. Well, and you mentioned that mom, you know, with her tears running down her face. Do you get that reaction a lot from parents?
We do. We do. And the stories that you hear, and then the other great thing is so many times when families come back to Clothes2Kids, they pay it forward. They bring their gently used clothing back to Clothes2Kids.
Oh, that's great.
And so I just really love that whole circle that is represented at Clothes2Kids of Denver.
I completely agree. Okay, so what's the big need that you have right now for those watching from home?
Okay. Well, obviously we take in gently used and new clothing. Socks and underwear have to be new.
Yes.
And in the package, that makes pretty good sense.
Right.
And we do find that boys' clothing is always a huge need. Girls tend to shop more, so we tend to be pretty well stocked at Clothes2Kids on our young women's and girls' clothing.
Makes sense.
And boys seem to destroy their clothing.
Yeah.
So boys' clothing is always a huge need. Casual, athletic pants, athletic shorts, always a big need. And then gently used sneakers are always in high demand at Clothes2Kids.
Okay, perfect. Gently used sneakers too. Okay, well, before we wrap it up here, how can people help too if it's not just donating clothes? Are there other ways?
Yes, we rely so much on our volunteers, Danny. We have seven staff at Clothes2Kids.
Yes.
And we have several hundred volunteers, but we're always looking for new volunteers, and we've also are looking for youth volunteers.
Oh,
a lot of high school kids come in and they're wonderful volunteers. They really help in sorting clothing and knowing what kids like to wear. And so our youth volunteers are a huge, huge asset to us, as well as, you know, anybody that likes to come in and sort clothing or help families shop, it's a great place to come and volunteer.
Perfect. Well, Val, thank you so much. You guys, there's so much that you can do to help. You can donate your time, your money, or gently used clothes. That's the huge one there. Don't forget those boys' clothes. You can learn more about this incredible organization helping kids here in Colorado by heading to closetokidsdenver.org.